Hey folks, this is Matt. Uh, it's a bright and shining day today, and I'm happy that the sun is back, but it's been kind of hurting my eyes a little bit. It's been like the last week has been so dreary and gray and cold and I don't know. Wasn't my cup of tea. Speaking of cups of tea. You'd think I would be more excited that the sun is out, but last night I had the extreme pleasure of facilitating a meditation, and something that is really important if during a meditation, if you happen to facilitate one, and you happen to want to turn the lights out because you want to keep it dark for everybody, it's important to be mindful of the end of the meditation when you you turn the lights back on, right? One bulb at a time, if you can get away with that. Doesn't always work like that. So we're gonna just do the format a little different today. I know that in the past I've been in this idea of like, oh, I really want to show you all the spreads, show you all how the cards are laid out. And I tried to make a video the other day, and I just didn't like the format. I just wanted to try something different, go back to, I don't know, go back to basics. Try and trim the fat if we could. Or dim the lights. Or just do it differently. I guess that's how I'm feeling. Just do it differently. So, I hope y'all enjoy this reading. This is no signs involved, or all signs involved. Let's see where it goes. Alright, King of Swords. King of Swords is somebody who is really, really analytical. This is a sharp cookie. Sharp knife. I don't know why. You wouldn't want to eat a sharp cookie, would you? A smart cookie. Yeah. I don't know if I would use cookie actually to describe King of Swords, because King of Swords isn't really sweet. King of Swords is kind of sour, a little bit bitter at times. But it's not because they're misanthropic. It's because they are pulled into that like computer-like place of analysis, data crunching. That's a person who they know the score. They're the eye in the sky. They're the person who you really can't get anything past them. Sort of like a Sherlock Holmes type character, right? Like a master of deduction. Justice. Another sword card, this time in Major Arcana energy. Justice is somebody who, well, I say who, it's not a person, this is like an overall energy, right? So we got Justice, King of Swords. In some sense, it's almost like a match, but I would say within this reading as we're going, this is like King of Swords' higher self. So this is somebody who is aligned with the ideas of fairness, equality. So that's part of their detachment. right? They're not detached because of misanthropy. They're detached actually out of love. But it's that sort of detached, compassionate love, like a Buddhist type love, where you have dropped off all the lingering attachments, right? Out of a desire to love more deeply and more specifically and more experientially. So you don't get caught in the traps of possession. So you don't get caught in the traps of that can come with desire. It's kind of a heavy reading so far. Well, speaking of sunlight, another major arcana card, the sun. The sun is coming out, that's for sure. You know, although the sun is like very jubilant and childlike, there is also an aspect of sunlight that is harsh. And when I say harsh, I don't mean mean, I just mean it's just like cut and dry, right? It's an interesting thing about light, right? It can be both particle-like, which is like on, off, 1, 0. It can also be wave-like. It can be radiant. It's both and. Which is actually very controversial idea for somebody like King of Swords. King of Swords is very binary, very, you know, it's this or it's that. And the sun is like, it's everything. You can't just have one without the other. And that goes pretty well with justice. Justice is also, you can't have one without the other. You can't make an assessment of somebody without also knowing the other person. You can't know how you feel about somebody without understanding the whole relationship. I have no idea where this reading's going, by the way. We're just raw dogging it. So, Empress, a lot of major arcana cards coming out today. Empress is an energy of nurturing, of divinity, of feminine divinity, I should say. Nurturing, nature, sensuality, all the good and nice things that are soft and warm and fuzzy. And we have Empress and we have the sun, right? So in some sense, how do these two feed each other? So looking at this now, we've got, this is where I'd want to show you all the format, right? Spread. We've got the sun and the Empress. And we got Justice and the King of Swords. These are two different things, two different energies, and they're complementing each other. I'd like to see how they're complementing each other, because I'm gonna, just to reiterate, right? The Empress is tapped into a childlike energy. Feeding from the sun, feeding from heaven, it nurtures her and she gives back. And she gives back in this jubilant, bright and shining way. This is a very mother-father kind of match. Do these two match? I think that's the question I want to ask, because they seem so polar opposite from each other. Tower. I think a lot of people look at Tower, and within the context of this reading, they might assume, oh, they don't match at all. And I would say, Tower is not necessarily a card specifically of endings. This is also a card of beginnings. In the same way, like the Death card is a card of beginnings and endings. But the thing that makes Tower particularly notable as a major arcana card is it denotes suddenness. So what brings together these two forces, these two people, these two energies, whatever they are, what brings them together happened very all of a sudden, without any sort of warning whatsoever. And we see these two royal figures falling from the tower, almost as if like their authority had been struck down. I say almost. I mean, that is literally what this card is about, right? Divinity stepped in and said, "No, we're done. This epoch is over. Whatever it was you were doing in your high tower, that's over. It's time to make a new beginning here. It's time to shift your entire perspective about how you've been interacting with each other, how you've been interacting with your families, how you've been interacting with yourselves. This is about a big upwelling of emotion, of revelation, of realizing what was going on was never going to stay this way forever. It had to change at some point. So, where is that change going? What is this? The Star card. Well, this is a crazy reading. I never get a reading where it's almost entirely major arcana. This is like, whoever this is for, this is a big one. But it's okay that this change is happening. It's for the good of all involved. This is a divinely orchestrated event, in the same way that the movements of the stars are divinely orchestrated. The orbits of the planets, the movement of the galaxies, all these things happen and we have no impact on it. There's not a single thing we can say or do that will change the course of things. And we can find so much confidence and courage in that. We can find within ourselves hope, even, that even though events in our lives may bring things to a stuttering stop, we can still have confidence. I don't know if I can say. We can still have confidence. It's going to be all right. So how is it going to work out for these two? Oh, I drew two cards accidentally, so this was the first one. This was the one that was on the top. This Ace of Swords. New ideas are going to come in for these two, and they're going to well up from within. They're not going to, it's not going to be an idea that, like, they get by watching a YouTube video or a YouTube tarot reading. It's going to come from within. It's going to come from a moment, from a dream, from while washing the dishes or driving to take care of an errand. It's just going to happen unexpectedly. And this idea has to do with the dark and mysterious realm of emotions. I want to go back and show you, Tower, despite the depiction, Tower is actually a very watery card. It's rooted in the ground of what upwells from our emotional states. What bursts out of us unexpectedly. And the Star, even though it's a card of Aquarius, clearly the water bearer, spends a lot of time with emotions, with water, with intuition, with all those nebulous things. Because as certain as the movements of the stars are, the movement of the heart has its own rhythm. And it could be arguably connected with the rhythm of the stars and the rhythm of the phases of the moon. So that's my reading for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This is a bit of a new thing for me. Maybe I'll do it in this format again soon. I did this reading today like this because I tried to do a video the other day and it wasn't doing anything for me. I felt the reading felt flat. I felt flat, and I was like, well, I guess it's time to try something new or abandon tarot altogether. And I didn't really want to abandon tarot, especially because I'm about to spend a fair amount of time talking about it in the not too distant future, in a public setting. So we will return again to this soon. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope it resonates with you. If it does, please leave a comment and let me know what you think about it. And if you yourself have any questions in regards to tarot, or if you have any requests on a reading, I'm happy to facilitate that. Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day, your evening, what have you, and we will talk again soon. Bye.